was a lot of work. We knew she was recommended to come here to be a breeding match with our male Macon, and the work we did with her started years before we ever even thought about a baby being possible.
She is quite the little firecracker. She's very inquisitive.
She was hand-reared by different human caretakers within the first year of her life, which is an important year for certain developmental milestones and definitely certain social milestones. I think that she got a mix of orangutan culture and human culture that sort of shaped her personality and her worldview.
We were extremely fortunate that Inda had a really healthy pregnancy and delivered a nice, healthy baby.
So his name is Nanka, which means jackfruit. The reason we chose that name is because he was very sweet and very strong.
We saw when she had her child that she was willing to do things like cradle him appropriately. Those types of things are not always instinctive, they're learned.
Of course, he went through a lot of changes in the first few months of his life. He was very adaptable. He was a very good baby. He was the purest, sweetest individual.
But we found that when she started to experience things she wasn't practiced in, that can be a really stressful experience.
When Inda was feeling stressed, we really weren't seeing her demonstrate appropriate maternal behaviors.
So we started off by sharing parenting duties. We would provide bottles, we would care for the infant, and we would model all of this for Inda.
A staff member's wife had just given birth to a couple of twin newborns, and she brought them in to demonstrate nursing in person for Inda to observe. Even though she was interested, still the dots were not being connected for her. It quickly became clear that Inda simply would not be able to parent this baby, so we decided to seek a foster orangutan.
We were given so many resources, and it was such a relief for us to know we had a place for this infant to go. If we exhausted every option, did everything we had in our power to do, there was always a fail-safe. There were other people willing to step in, take on this huge commitment, and there were animals out there who would welcome an infant that wasn't theirs and make sure Nanka had the best possible life. The other thing we wanted to make sure is we have a backup plan. And the backup plan included a lot of moving parts, but we knew if push came to shove and Inda was not going to be the ideal mother for our infant, we wanted him to go to another orangutan mom. Orangutans should be raised by other orangutans.
We had an orangutan being raised by an orangutan, which was the ultimate goal. I think Janine did say before that while there have been successful foster stories in zoos for orangutans, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're always available. If they started fostering infant, they're booked for several years, depending on how old the infant is, but they become unavailable. They can only do one at a time. I think that the excellent work from our animal care staff, the serendipitous timing of Madhu being available to be a foster mom, I think both of those factors led us to the best possible outcome given the scenario.
So we ended up fostering the baby at Zoo Atlanta with Madhu, who is a well-known foster mom. Madhu is not a spring chicken anymore, but she is able to care for one last baby. The baby got to its foster mom by a really great donation from one of our partners. They donated their private jet, so we got to fly on a plane of just myself and the baby. And we took a direct flight all the way to Atlanta.
How could you not fall in love with him? He was adorable, he was very sweet. He had everyone's heart. It was rough to have him go away, but also bittersweet though, because we were very happy for this outcome. We wanted to see him thrive when he is, and he was, and it was really tough. There were a lot of tears shed, but some sad tears and some happy tears because he's doing super well over at Zoo Atlanta.
We hope you get to enjoy our orangutan species here at the Sacramento Zoo. They are incredible animals. These animals are not just here to be viewed by the public, but we have an incredible staff that takes care of them. And we work collaboratively with other organizations and with AZA Safe programs to help save orangutans in the wild. Our ambassador animals here at the zoo do a wonderful job representing their species, teaching you all about the animals, and helping folks take action to save those animals. Just by visiting the zoo, you're helping save orangutan species in the wild and ensuring that they are there for future generations to come. We're working together on a collaborative project here in the zoo to do some upgrades and improvements for our orangutan habitat. These improvements are based on orangutan behavior, orangutan welfare needs, in order to provide a better experience for the orangutans, to elevate their welfare and well-being experience, provide them more opportunities to exhibit natural behaviors in the way they brachiate, move through the habitat, provide more usable space within the habitat, just providing a better overall experience for the orangutans here at the zoo, and in turn, it will provide a better visitor experience for our visitors as well.
I am fortunate that I have worked with Macan since he arrived at the Sacramento Zoo. He was still a youngster. He was 8 years old, which is around the time that a wild orangutan would leave his mother. We noticed something was different about Macan, and it's very commonly seen in orangutans. But we knew from that young age when he came here, we were going to have to prepare him for a lifetime of dealing with his chronic illness.
There's a disease condition called orangutan respiratory disease syndrome. It's similar to what humans might call cystic fibrosis. So it causes a lot of respiratory disease symptoms in our affected orangutan. In order to manage this health condition, he often needs regular exams to check in on his respiratory status. We also need to monitor his heart health and ensure that also is appropriately addressed. He needs behavioral training with his keepers in order to have excellent compliance with some of the medical treatments that he needs to feel better.
So we have an incredible team on the husbandry side and the animal care health side that have put together a treatment plan for him where they're able to monitor him, use medical behavior training, have Macan choose to participate in medical care and health treatments to ensure that his health stays top-notch and that we can manage, monitor, and provide him a really good quality of life due to the care that he receives.
A lot of our limitations can be based around the types of tools that we have access to. There definitely are some tools and equipment that would make caring for these animals even better. Some of the tools that would really make our efforts facilitated include a utility cart. Oftentimes we've got bulky equipment that we need to take to an animal in order to treat them. One of the other tools that we really are in need of currently is a dental system. Although we do have a machine, it's very old and it only has one tool on it. We would really be grateful to get a full dental system with drills that are appropriate for extractions, scaling, polishing effort, and high-speed hand pieces that will allow us to do some of the tooth-saving procedures that might benefit the animal's well-being in the long run. We had an anesthesia machine. I think it was secondhand to us over 20 years ago. We kept it going for quite a while, but unfortunately it stopped functioning this year. And that piece of equipment was really important to allow us to seamlessly have our animal under anesthesia while we took radiograph. Right now, we are kind of using a workaround where we use our field anesthesia unit, which is not really the best equipment for an in-house anesthetic procedure. And we're using that temporarily until we're able to replace that anesthesia machine. And that anesthesia machine is also used for surgical procedures whenever those come up. Oftentimes we'll need to move into the surgery suite. It's got to be sterile in there. And so having that already in the surgical suite is an important aspect of managing some of our clinical cases.
By providing this high level of medical care for our animals here at the zoo, we ensure that these animals can thrive and that they can be part of a larger group of animals that we work with.
With your gift tonight, our animals will be able to live happier, healthier lives.
It's an incredible honor to take care of these animals and to steward this institution, and we look forward to many years in the future at this organization to help protect animals in the wild, to help serve our community, and to just be a wonderful resource for animals, conservation, the public, and everyone involved.